excited about this episode, y'all. This is my neck of the woods.
Yeah. Expertise.
Yeah, and also just something that, like, I'm super passionate about. So, what are we talking about today on the healing space? We are going to talk about body image and self-esteem. Because that is a huge issue when it comes to living with HS. In addition to, so we have HS, which automatically, bumps, boil-like abscesses, the tunneling, open wounds, the blackheads, like
scarring,
all of it. Does not make you want to put on a little string bikini and go outside. I'm going, like, that's not your first instinct when you have HS. Add in the fact that for so many years we've been told that obesity causes HS, which has been thoroughly debunked. But then add in that layer of, I caused this is my fault, I deserve to suffer, I hate my body hates me.
Yep.
Ooh, that sounds
heavy.
Awful. How to love your body in a way that's authentic, not in a fake, I love myself so much. Like, we're not doing that.
Toxic positivity, no thank you.
Yeah, that's the word. That's the professional word, that one. We're not doing that because it doesn't work. But what does work is body neutrality.
Love it.
What is body neutrality, Cara?
Body neutrality is just being okay with what is, and that it doesn't have to be, I'm the most beautiful thing ever, or I'm an atrocious swamp creature.
Exactly. There is a middle ground. Balance. Which is such a hard place to get to, but it's so important to be there. So what does this look like? I do an exercise with clients, and it usually involves, like, we start off with what parts of your body don't you like? And that sounds really scary.
Yeah.
To make a list of all the parts that you don't like. Putting them all down and seeing it is hugely impactful, because you're like, holy shit, I have a whole list of things that I don't like about myself, and I could probably keep going. So that's the first part of how this. It is. And then from there, we look at those parts and we say, how does this part serve you? So, and that can look like, I always give the example of my tummy, right? I don't like it. She hangs, she's an apron, but we're not a baker. I mean, we are a baker, but we're not a baker. We don't need an apron. Okay. But I have it, and it exists. And what does it do for me? It literally provides life to the rest, because it processes my nutrition. And just aesthetically, I'm a foster mom, and every child that I've had loves laying on my big squishy belly. That's how it serves me. So looking at it from an angle of, it's not about if I like how it looks, it's about, does it function? And we have to be careful here, because there's a line of ableism, right? Like, saying that it has to have a function in order to be useful, or I can't think of the word, but so when we look at this, we want to think about, what about areas of HS that maybe don't work the way that they quote unquote should? How do you manage positive self-talk about those areas that feels authentic? And that is a great question. I think it comes down to, like, let's go with armpits. So I have HS in my armpits, mostly in remission now, but that was my worst spot for a very, very long time. And I hate the way that it looks. I hate raising my arms up because it's like just ugly and pitted, and people notice, and I can't shave because it like is so pitted that it would be just a bloody massacre. But what does my armpit do for me that doesn't look aesthetically pleasing? It doesn't really function like it should, right? Like it's supposed to help with sweat, and like that's how you expel things from your body, and like our bodies don't work like that. So it physically does not work the way that it should. It allows me to do this.
Exactly.
It allows me to be an advocate. It doesn't work, and it doesn't look pretty. And that's exactly why I am where I am today. There is always an angle that you can come from.
That you can look at it.
Always. And I will love to help you with that. If you are like, this is my life, I can't find a single good thing, let's talk, because we will find a bunch of them, I promise you.
We will make a longer list.
A much longer
list.
So we really preach body neutrality over body positivity, because you're not going to love your body every day. Your body's not going to love you every day. It's about finding that balance and having a mutual respect for each other, right? Like you take care of it, it takes care of you. You're kind to it, it's kind to you. And that includes self-talk.
Yes. We can be our own worst enemy.
Literally.
We really can be.
When there's toxic thoughts swirling around your head all the time, what do you think that does to you physically? It causes a lot of issues. So stress and HS, besties.
Besties, they love to hang.
Besties, because what does stress create? Inflammation. What does inflammation create? Flare-ups. So, when you are being completely angry to yourself, your body feels it. It feels it in a way that you might not even be aware of. But because it's in the background, it's happening unconsciously. If you think about an iceberg, what you say is the tip that's above the water. What you think is the huge part underneath. Before we dive back into today's conversation, I want to take a moment to thank UCB Pharmaceuticals for making the Healing Space podcast possible. At UCB, they believe in looking beyond the symptoms and seeing the whole person. They understand that living with hidradenitis suppurativa means more than managing physical health. It's about supporting mental health too. Their commitment to our community, to innovation, advocacy, and compassion is what makes partnerships like this so meaningful. We're so grateful to have UCB standing beside us, helping us create a space where healing is more than a goal. It's a journey we take together. Now, let's get back to the conversation. And which part of the iceberg is the most important? The part that you can see, or the unknown danger underneath?
Oh, obviously, the giant unknown danger underneath.
And that's how the Titanic gets sunk, baby. So
that's how you get sunk.
You gotta watch out for that iceberg. Okay, so being kind to yourself, being kind to your body, changing the way that you talk about yourself, the way that you think about yourself, dressing in a way that makes you feel good. And not in a you have to be like fancy. Like if you feel your best when you're comfortable, be comfortable. Be Adam Sandler. We love that.
Yes.
Do
Emotional
you?
Support, buddy.
If throwing on lipstick makes you feel like do things that are gonna make you feel better from the get-go and set yourself up for success from the beginning. That was a lot of talking.
You did great though. I loved that.
I got a lot more.
Yeah, well, it's your thing. It's your thing.
This is something that like you don't realize how much your self-esteem impacts your daily life, but it completely does. It impacts how much you're speaking up at work, how much you're letting your ideas be heard, how if you're allowing yourself to go out of your comfort zone to try different things because you're confident enough to do so. It's just, I can't convey it in a way that expresses it to the extent that I experience it. But your self-esteem and the way that you think about yourself
Yep.
it controls your entire life.
Mm-hmm. It's going to control what decisions you make, what you decide to do in life, and how you're going to do it, and what you're capable of.
Yep, absolutely. So another good tip, I guess, about that I like to do for self-esteem, if you cannot see any good in yourself, like you've sat down, you tried the neutrality thing, you cannot get yourself to say a kind thing, I want you to, like, right now, text 3 of your closest people, I don't care who they are, and ask them objectively, what do you like about me? Say, I'm not fishing for compliments. My therapist asked me to do this. And they will give you what you need to hear.
Yes.
What you can't see in yourself, because these are obviously people you trust inherently. Why would they lie to you about this?
Exactly.
They wouldn't. So then you take what they say and you start owning those words. If they say that you are charismatic, if you will, that's who you are. If that's what people's interpretation of you is, I think sometimes we trust ourselves too much and what our own perception of ourselves is.
Yes.
Because let me tell you, our brains don't work that way. We are not aware of half of the stuff that we are, like, doing and saying most of the time, right? So much of it is like autopilot. So much of it is happening on an unconscious level. We're giving signals out that we're not, aware of. And it's just okay. So we said a lot of words. We want to show you guys what this can look like in a real life setting. So we're gonna I'll pretend to be like Cara's inner thoughts / therapist. No, you're gonna be your inner thoughts. I'll be
my thoughts,
and I'm just gonna prompt the thoughts. So this is what you should be asking and doing with yourself. Okay. What parts of yourself do you have the most difficulty with?
Definitely, I would say my HS scarring, and newly, all of my fresh stretch marks from having a baby. They're very new, and I'm trying to get to know them.
New is hard.
New is hard.
It's hard to adapt to new. It's hard to adapt to new, especially when it's newness in your home.
Yes. You looked one way, and then all of a sudden you're like, what is happening?
There's a stranger in my house.
Yeah.
And I don't recognize it, and I don't like it.
And the stranger's not leaving. The
No.
stranger's staying.
Stranger is here to stay.
Yes.
They're like, they moved in.
Yeah.
So what do your scars say about you and your story?
That I survived, that we made it through, and that we're on the other side.
Yeah.
That we got through that, and they are now healed and have left a little mark of the journey there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think we can even go as far as to say you created an entire human being.
Yes.
And that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
a whole human.
We overlook that because it's so common just to, like, it is a literal scientific miracle that how birth happens.
There was, like, a whole skeleton inside me. I still can't get over that. Like, I created bones.
And your body, with those scars, did that.
Yeah. It made a whole nother existence, a universe that now lives among us. That is very cool when you think of it that way.
Is that not bigger than those small scars?
Yeah, it like leads me more towards, like, that's a cool reminder now when I see them that I created a whole human that gets to live his life.
And that your body expanded to incorporate this human.
Think about it with how you're laying it out. Like, that's all that I have to remember that is.
Literally. And it lasts
marks.
forever.
Yeah.
That's your bond with forever with your children.
Look at that. Look at the reframe. Look at the reframe.
That's how it's done.
That's how it's done. You're so good at what you do.
I'm just kidding. Please stop.
No, I'm not going to stop.
Seriously though, it is really that. It's and if you can't do this exercise by yourself, find someone else. Say, play devil's advocate with me. Find a different angle from this for me.
Yes.
And see what it does. Mind shifts are everything. So
they are. Reframe.
I
Love it.
It reminds me of like the song like Freeze Frame. It's like, reframe. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up because it's got a little unhinged over here. So try that exercise at home.
Yes.
Be kinder to yourself, or Big Rhonda will come find you. And I would say, give yourself the grace and love that you give everybody.
Yes. Be your own friend.